Hello Astrolifers, good evening. So I'm going to give you the week of the second, well the third now today, to the, which day are we going to be? I should know, to the 9th of July. Okay, so we've been going through quite a few problems, and I'm not sure where it did hit you, that full moon in Capricorn. I'm going to wear my glasses. It is a bit late. It's better like that after spending so much time on my computer. Hi, Mary. Thanks for watching. So anyway, yes, that full moon was in Capricorn. So the 27th or the 28th, depending where you were, on which side of the planet. And the 28th in Australia, and the 27th in onto the other side. And yes, it would have touched any kind of problems that you could have personal. It could be partners, children, friends, even work, anything like that. It is important. Hi Evelyn, hi, nice to see you. Yes, it was important to actually take notice of the problems that have come up. It could be your health, and it could be, I've had many clients having health issues mainly, and which is quite funny. It's always with the bones and the back and the structure, because obviously Saturn rules that, or the bones or the teeth or things like that, which, I mean, everybody had back problems. So that was, yeah, a bit, yeah, it's just the way it works anyway. And yes, and Capricorn obviously is a great teacher. So on that full moon, we had Capricorn obviously trying to teach you something. So, or you are working too much, or you didn't take care of yourself. Hi Shelley, nice to see you as well. So, but that could be touching, depending on where it sits into your charts and the effects you would have had, even if it was conversation that you had with your partner, friends, work, any kind of things like that. Just take it very seriously, because in fact that aspect with Saturn is a long-term aspect. So it was a full moon, but on top of that it was linked with longevity. So I really want you to watch out the signs that you got, because if you don't take them seriously, you're going to have issues onto those problems. So make sure that you saw the problems that you were facing. So that could have been obviously 3 or 4 days prior of the 27th, or 3 or 4 days after. I mean, it could even be linking until today, because it was a really strong one. And Saturn in Capricorn, it is strong. I mean, that's where it's, you know, at its maximum, because it is. Capricorn is Saturn, and Saturn is Capricorn. So it was really full on. So that was what we've just been through. So I wish I could tell you that it's going to get better in the next month or two. Unfortunately, you know me, I'm not going to tell you things that are not real. So it is actually the beginning of 2 months of a lot of things happening. First, because we're going to have 7 planets in retrogrades by August. So you can imagine what that is like when everything slows down. So don't expect to have a lot of business in the month coming up in August. And obviously I will go through every week and explain what to do and how to make the maximum out of the aspects that we do have. And also obviously, as soon as we're going to hit next week, from the 12th, we are going to start having some eclipses. So there will be an eclipse, a solar eclipse on the 12th, linked with the new moon, but there's going to be an opposition with Pluto, which is going to make things harsh and complex. But there will be 2 triangles. So each time next week, I'm really going to take my time to explain everything that we are going through, because I want to kind of help you guys to navigate through what we are going to go through. There will be times, you know, to be careful on certain days, but then after that we'll have some good aspects coming up. So I will want you to focus on the good aspects, making sure you don't create yourself some more problems when the hard aspects will be hitting. So we'll go through that, especially next week and the week of the 27th. I'm going to really help you guys to make sure you go through all that. Now, there will be some good times, thank God for that. There will be some good times, especially around the 14th and the 15th if you want to travel. I'm giving you those dates in advance because I know you're going to need them, or even to take a weekend off or take some time off to really look after yourself, because you're going to need it. You are going to feel pretty tired by the time we reach August. As I was saying before, there will be 7 planets in retrograde, including Mars, obviously. So Mars already started on the 26th to go retrograde, and that's going to be the case until the 27th of August. So that rules any kind of strength, stamina, determination, and stuff like that. So if you start feeling it going down, that's not your fault. I don't want you to feel guilty or anything. And even if you see that money is not coming in or things are not moving forwards the way you want them, it's not going to be your fault. Everything will be fine by the 3rd of September. It's just a little bit of a hard time. Don't start any projects for the moment. As I was saying in the previous weeks, it's not the time to do so. Start to take it easy, relax, take care of yourself, focus on what is important, and especially what has been popping out, as I was saying, onto that last full moon, because that's what was important, to focus on that. And you would have had signs, and that can be concerning people in your family. Me, it was my son, for example. You know, we all have things that needs to be sorted, and when it's like that, you need to actually take it seriously and say, okay, you are focusing on that problem, solving it, and move on from there. The universe makes it pop up for a reason. That's because you actually need to do something about it. So that were the things that needed to be done. So now, there are some good news still, thank God for that. We have Jupiter, the planet of luck, that on the 11th is going to move forwards. And at the end of the day, I want you to know that, yes, okay, the eclipses are the strongest things that can happen to us. And when they are linked with the a new moon, and when there are strong oppositions and stuff like that, obviously that's going to move. Now, I want you guys to remember that eclipses are made for a reason. They are made for you to shift, to change, to make changes into our lives. And sometimes we don't like changes. I mean, human nature, we like things to be the way it is, and we would like them to stay the way they are, especially if they are good, but it doesn't happen like that. I mean, in the real reason why we are on Earth, and I always insist on that, is to actually evaluate. And obviously, that is linked with changes, because otherwise we wouldn't evaluate. So sometimes we want to stay the way we are, but the universe is always going to make sure that that is not going to happen. So sometimes you say, oh, things are going to stay like that, but they don't, I mean, we are always evolving, always changing, and there's no stronger effects than an eclipse. And so we are going to go through 2 eclipses, and next month as well, it is the month of the eclipse. That's why I told you guys to do everything prior in the last 2 months to organize yourself, because now we are going through the time that is going to be obviously the hardest time of 2018, to be as simple as that. After that, don't worry, it will be really easy from September, which is going to be the best month. So we're going to go from the worst to the best, and then crescendo. So don't worry too much. But this time, obviously, it's going to be a little bit hard. Now, the second eclipse, which is going to be a lunar eclipse, I would have loved to tell you that it's going to be an excellent one as well. But this one too is also going to have some problems that Uranus is going to bring. But again, I really want you to understand that a lot of people don't like Uranus because it is the planet of surprises, and that you cannot see it coming. It brings up things that you really don't see coming. So even with me in astrology, even if I was looking at your chart, and even if I was studying it, I can have an idea where it's going to kind of touch, but I cannot see the problem coming because, as it says, it is the planet of surprises, so it kind of comes up. But one thing I have kind of learned about all these planets, as I've been doing astrology now for so many years, is that there's always good things that happens when things are moving and changing. So I don't see it anymore as a negative way. And even though, I'm affected like everyone else and it can bring problems like everyone else, I always see the positive side, because when there are new things and what are unexpected things, first you have to react, and then it's going to teach you how to react and obviously adapt with the new changes. But on the same time, it's going to change things in lives, and that's what you want. You don't want to be staying on the same level all the time. You actually want to end up your life turning around and saying, well, what a road and what an evolution, and how you have become, a good person, and how you've learned and how much you've grown, So I always try to see things in a positive way, because otherwise you're going to think, oh, okay, it's not a positive thing, when in fact it is. So always keep that in mind. So yes, a lot of things happening. So I am really glad to tell you that this week is a quiet one, that it is a little bit the calm before the storm. So this week, try to do whatever is still important. I would prefer that you don't start signing a contract, but you can still do it, knowing that the real shadow of Mercury being retrograde is only going to start on the 7th of July. So in fact this weekend, so on the 8th in Australia. So just do that. Just try to finish everything you can. Now, just because there is on the 11th Jupiter moving forwards, and at least we're going to have the planet of luck, which is at the end of the day one of the biggest, and well, it is the biggest. It's 40 times the size of the moon, just to give you an idea. So that is actually going to be moving forwards on the 10th. So you can still do certain things and organize certain things around that time, knowing that still the shadow of Mercury and the fact that we are going to go and slow down for anything with contracts and making new decisions and doing things is starting to slow down. So try to do things that you really have to do, but if you do not have to do them, definitely you wait for the 3rd of September. That would be the best. But otherwise, you finish whatever you have to do if you don't have the choice. But from the 26th of July to the 19th of the 20th, let's say, of August, at that time you do not sign anything, you do not start anything, you do not launch anything. It will just not work out. So I'm just going to explain a little bit more the effect of Mercury for the ones that don't know. Mercury is just going to make your project not work, the new relationship that you are starting, creating problems into your life. Things that you are, contracts that you are signing are going to stick like glue and create problems. That's when you usually have court cases and things like that, because you actually did it under Mercury retrograde. Or I also see people that have started a business or signed up for a loan or signed up for a house and stuff like that, having all the problems on earth from everything not working onto their property. To the point sometimes they even resell their property because of that. I've seen people buying some businesses, then we had to rename the business, we had to reorganize everything to actually kind of change the energy of that paperwork sign, or that commitment done under Mercury retrograde. So that just brings too many problems that you just want to avoid. Life is better to be as simple and as easy as you can. So you usually try to use the energy of the stars when it is positive, and you surf on it and use them into your best interest, obviously. That's what I do with my clients. That's why I send them the monthly updates in advance. Well, they're going to get it tonight because it's all done, so we're sending them to everyone. But yes, you just want to make sure that you do things at the right time. Why complicate your life when you can just make it so simple? I mean, once you know how it works, and once you are one of my clients, obviously you don't make any mistakes. And talking about that, actually, before the stars get really bad, I still have 4 spots available for Bali, for my retreat to go to Bali. So if you want to decide, please decide now before we get into the retrograde, because honestly, I don't want to accept any clients when they are the retrograde, because it won't be good for you. So if it's not good for you, it's not good for me either. So I'm just letting you know, from the time we will get in retrograde, I will not accept any clients at that time. It won't be good for neither of us. So if you want to come, that retreat is going to be awesome. I mean, there's just awesome people. Yeah, the place is just amazing. The lady that owns the place, she's awesome as well. The chef, the cooks, the masseurs, the healers, everyone's coming, and even the crowd. I mean, I'm not even talking about the coaches. The ones coming up, absolutely awesome. So yeah, I've got only 4 beds left, and it is going to be all filled up. So take your spot if you are wanting one. So yeah, so let's go back to the stars. So at least we've got Jupiter moving forwards, so that is awesome. And on the 14th and the 15th, it will be good to travel. Now, the best day that we are going to have, I'm giving you some dates in advance because I know you guys want to organize yourself a little bit. So I'm giving you another date in advance. I'm giving you the good stuff, so at least you can organize your weekends. It's going to be the 21st. The 21st is going to be really good. So that, because of Jupiter, Venus and Jupiter, so that weekend you can organize yourselves. And that's it. The rest, I will send it to my clients who had readings, giving them all the month and everything so they can sort themselves out. But that's it. So if you have gone through some problems last week, and if you have thought that it was hard, yes, obviously it was done for a reason, to see what the problems are and what is coming. So try to sort them out. The ones that are earth signs would have been the best actually to be able to deal with it, because obviously it was in an earth sign. So the Virgos and the Capricorns themselves, or even the Taurus, would have been a little bit better, a bit more comfortable with it than the others. And now, as far as the rest is concerned, organize those weekends, the time I said. Make sure you finish in the next week or two the projects that are important. Knowing that really technically the only day really where you can still sign something with some really awesome aspects will be the 21st, because of Venus and Jupiter. Otherwise, the other days are not so good. Mars having slowed down already, and as I was saying, Mercury also having is starting to have his slowing down as well. His retrograde started. So when you do something with retrograde, Mars retrograde, obviously it's going to have less strength into your business. There's not going to be so much action and so much peps, and definitely the same with the Mercury retrograde. It's going to slow down the fact that your projects are going to be working, and they will go backwards a little bit. Instead of moving forwards, they won't be going into the right direction. So that's something that you try to avoid when you want something to move forwards and be working. Well, that's it, folks. So enjoy the days that are good. Be ready for the rest. So how to deal with it? Obviously, it's to look after your health. It's to be slowing down, not putting so much pressure on yourself. It's really, really taking time. I really want you to understand that it is time to slow down, because otherwise some of you might have some health issues. Not being able to cope. I want you guys to keep your schedule light as you can, because there's going to be some surprises, especially during the second eclipse. Some people are going to have to turn around and adapt very quickly to the problems that are going to come. Because that's going to need a reaction. So some people are going to be surprised. Suddenly there will be, maybe a staff leaving or something happening like that, things that you are not expecting. So you will have to be able to adapt very quickly. So that is the best you can do to make sure you go through them easily, and that nothing else touch you. Now, on the other side, all my clients, if you have any issues, and I know some of you are going to have some of you have already had some. I've had a lot of people online and on messages. Just text me. It takes me 2 minutes to tell you yes you can, no you can't, on which date, and help you out to go through it. And that's what I do. That's part of my services. I look after you. I just don't do the reading, but I look after you, and I know you're going to need me in the next month or two, so I'm definitely here for that. And also, yes, go step by step. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just go day by day, and navigate like that until we reach September, because I don't want you guys to be tired, and you will feel tired with Mercury retrograde, Mars retrograde, and all the others as well. Obviously that's how you are going to be feeling. So yeah, be very kind on yourself, and that's the best way to go. And then after that we'll be through, and then we'll be in the best month of 2018, and I just cannot wait, because I've got three retreats lining up. and around the world, and many other things lined up. So that will be time for you guys to push, to start your businesses, to launch all your products, and to take the most and the best out of that month to make a lot of money. So anyway, I'll see you next Monday. Please take care. What is Amy saying? I even felt it. Yes, everyone felt it. I tell you what, that's for sure. So anyway, I'll see you soon. I'll see you next Monday. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Ciao, ciao. Bye.